Good afternoon, everybody. We are less than a week away from soccer starting. A lot of events this past weekend. Brick Memorial had an event, 24 teams. Capelli had an event, a bunch of teams from all over the state. Sorry about that noise, just got an alert on my computer. To start talking high school soccer, do some team previews. I have a special guest who just played in the Capelli event from Howell High School. They're always in the Good Sports event, and they're pretty successful in the Good Sports Summer League. Senior captain Allison Nase. Allison, thank you for taking time out today.
Thank you for having me.
Now we're going to start off. We're going to talk about this upcoming season. The past 2 years, Howell has graduated a couple key pieces. Obviously, this past season, Jade comes to mind. Goalkeeper, Maddie Smith had a great few years for you girls, but time for people to step up into those roles. I know you have a goalkeeper that transferred on in from Manalapan, so hopefully you don't lose a step there. But how do you think the team looks as we get close to the start of the season?
I think we're looking pretty good. I'm really excited. Definitely Maddie Smith, losing her was huge, but we have a great goalie in Layla Shaw that I'm excited to see. She's been doing a great job in our summer leagues and stuff like that. But yeah, we've been like training a lot. Like Maddie, Roberto's dad, Steve, he gets us outside all the time. Like he's conditioning us, like getting us the touches that we need. Like he's great, like helping us all get together, especially with like players coming up that haven't been with the team a lot. Like we get to like play with them and see how they work and stuff like that. So I'm really excited to see how everything turns out.
How important is it to do like the Good Sports Summer League? Like you said, you got players coming up that, whether they were JV players didn't see varsity time or incoming freshmen. How important is, to start building that chemistry early on?
It's so important. Even like in years before, like even during the season, we like all hang out, even if it's not soccer related, just to build that chemistry. Like it's just so important because like they really do become like a family to you because you're with them every day. So like it's definitely good to stay close with them. But like in terms of the summer league, like this 8v8 that we do, that's like perfect because it's nice and small. You get a lot of touches and you can like, bounce off your teammates and stuff like that. But I was glad we also did the full field one because that was like the first time we were able to play full field with like everybody, like all the new people and like with our new goalie. So yeah, it's definitely good to keep everybody together.
Yeah, you don't realize how big of a difference actually 7v7 and then when you get to the 11v11 is
Yeah,
because I'm not saying for Howell, but some of the other teams, 7v7, you could kind of hide some weaknesses that you might have 11v11, 11v11, your whole squad's out there. So
yeah,
it really gives you a chance to see, um, where everybody fits in. And that's good, that one of the parents, gets so involved like that. And, I've known that for a couple seasons, that he kind of helps with the good sports league and,
yeah, it's
getting the
great.
team going. Now, how about for you? What you're taking over the leadership role. What goals do you have personally for yourself?
I definitely want to get a couple goals this season because since we lost Jade, someone needs to kind of step up and fill her role. I've been playing more defensively the last couple years, so I
Yeah.
don't really get too many goals. So I definitely want to score some goals for my team because we already have some great forwards, but I definitely want to help them out.
Yeah, how much of an advantage, you got Ashley Smith, who is a speedster up
Right.
front, and then, Mackenzie, who was, my freshman of the year, she just blew up, last season. And how big is it to have two really good girls up front like that, could kind of open things up a little bit for the midfield?
It's awesome because it definitely takes a lot of stress off the midfield because they already got a lot to deal with. But knowing that we have people we can play to up front who we can trust and know that they'll put some balls in the back of the net is awesome.
Okay. How do the defense, you bring back the whole defense? Do you bring back?
We lose Emily Rosati, one of our center backs.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. But they have a lot of experience back there who's coming back. They've seen a lot of time. How big is it going to be, with a new goalie, them getting the communication down, early in the season?
Well, it's definitely going to be important, but we're already starting to build that up as the season is coming up. So it's definitely important, though.
And, you know, could ask this later, but how back-to-back short conference finals. I believe it's the first two in school history.
Yeah,
Making it there. Now, how does I know not the results you wanted, but how does it be part of Howell history to actually make back-to-back short conference finals?
it's great. It's so much fun. Like I love doing this every year. Like I'm gonna miss it so much.
And the amount of talent in the sure, the difficulty of even just getting to back. I mean, look at, Freehold, as good as they are, they didn't make it to the final last year. So that's an accomplishment in itself, being able to just get there and,
Yeah.
represent your school. And it's such, the Howell fans, I definitely, I know the boys team is always there, and the boys have had a lot of success the last couple of years too. So, both your teams are usually there playing in the semifinals. So school comes out, and it makes for a really, how fun is it playing it in that atmosphere when the whole school is out there supporting both those teams.
It's great. It's awesome that we made it to the finals last year's with the boys there too. But obviously we didn't get the result we wanted, but hopefully that can change this year. But it's awesome. Everybody's so supportive. I love being in a part of like a bigger school because like there's so many
Yeah.
people that just come and support us. It's great.
Yeah, and the girls programs and the basketball had a great season last year. So Howell had a pretty good year in girls sports. All right, let's rewind a little bit and talk growing up. How old were you when you first started playing
I
soccer?
actually started when I was 3 years old playing
Three.
rec soccer. Yeah.
How erect?
Yeah, Howell Rec.
Yeah. My dad was the president of Howell Rec a long, long, long time ago.
Really? That's
Very,
awesome.
very long. He was actually one of the ones involved to help create Howell United for the travel
Great.
program. So
Yeah, I was a part of that for a little bit.
yes, it is way different now how
Yeah.
club teams operate than back then
Oh yeah.
when Howell when Howell Rec and Pinelands merged for the travel program. So a lot different. But so you were 3 years old. Did you play any other sports when you were younger?
I mean, I did like gymnastics for a few years, but like I feel like every like little girl has to do that, but that never stuck. And then I did play basketball for a really long time, up until last year actually. I stopped playing because I had wrist surgery.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course they get a ring the year I leave.
Yeah. What was it, or what is it about soccer where that's where your passion was, and the path you took where you basketball kind of just fell
It was
out?
just like different. Like I don't know. I liked being outside, like running around. It's just like it's just so fun. I could do it all day.
No softball.
No, I was never a softball player.
Yeah, most soccer players do not bring up softball as a youth sport. It's a little too slow for soccer players. And so, do you have any siblings?
Yeah, I have two older brothers.
Were they soccer players, or did they play other sports?
They were wrestlers actually. One still
Wrestling.
wrestles at CCNJ.
Okay. Are very competitive growing up in the house,
Yeah.
outside in the backyard, very competitive.
Always outside, inside. Always.
How has your family, made you, the person and the player you are today?
They're just like my number one support team, like always. My mom, my dad. My dad is very athletic. He's still in the wrestling business too,
Mhm.
so he definitely is good at motivating me and keeping me on my feet, but they're all just great. They're always right by my side through everything. And when I had my wrist surgery, that was obviously like a huge deal for me and set me back a little bit, but they're by my side the entire time to keep me going.
Now, again, injured and like that, wrist, or soccer. Everybody hears about the ACL. What kind of did you have surgery?
Yeah, I had to have a pin put in.
Okay. Physical therapy, I'm assuming after that.
I had some like not I didn't go into physical therapy, but I had some exercises they wanted me to do and stuff.
Okay. Did you find it more like difficult, like more mentally, like, hey, I'm missing, I'm injured and might be missing some time, or
Yeah, 100%. It was definitely like a mental thing because like you don't really need your wrist to play soccer, but it's kind of like if I fall,
still,
like how do I
yeah.
land? Coach Arroyo, he always like messes with me because he always called me the claw because I had like my brace on, but like I didn't really need it towards the end. It was just kind of like a mental thing. Like
Hmm.
I just in case I fell and I landed on it, I just wanted it to be protected. But eventually I got rid of it, so that's good.
Okay. Yeah, people forget, you're teenagers and, serious injury. You don't, you're always afraid that it might get re-injured and stuff like that. So I completely understand that. Just who's your club team?
I play for PDA Shore.
PJ Shore, who's your coach?
Lou Santa Cruz.
Lou. How has Lou helped you? Because I hear a lot of good things about Coach Santa Cruz. I actually saw him Saturday at the Brick Memorial event, but how has he helped you along the way?
So we actually just picked him up, but he's a huge help in the recruiting process. He has a lot of connections with college coaches and stuff. So he definitely helps us a lot out with that. But I guest played with his team a bunch, and he's just a very motivating coach. Keeps us on it, like keeps us focused. He's a really good guy.
Who was your coach before Lou took over
Brian
you?
Finley.
Brian Finley? Okay.
Yeah.
How long did you have Coach Finley?
I had him for a year because I used to play soccer at Wall until I went to PDA.
Okay. So you were at Wall Elite
Yeah.
before. Okay.
Yeah, I played
Um,
with like Erin Ritchie, Erin Farrell, all those girls.
that's a pretty good team
Yeah.
as well. Um, yeah, Wall does a good job too, and especially keeping their kids in Wall instead of going to the private schools and stuff.
Yeah.
Now, entering high school, when you entered high school, what goals did you set for yourself?
Like soccer wise or
Both
well,
academic.
I definitely wanted to make varsity my freshman year,
Mhm.
which I was able to do. And then academically, I just wanted to keep all A's up because I actually, before last year, I'd never got anything below an A, but AP Physics kind of threw me off that.
Okay, AP Physics. I would be happy if I just saw 1A on my report card. That's something when I first started doing these interviews, and I ask kids what they want to study, and it's just so different from when I went to high school. Because even the girl athletes, it was either you were sports or you did really well in books. Now it's both. You girls are elite athletes that are doing engineering and doctor and lawyer and all that stuff. So I give you girls credit, for staying so high on the academic side while competing and spending so much time, getting good at the sport you're playing for. Now, when going in as a freshman, I know it could be nerve-wracking, new kid, new faces. Any upperclassmen that, you were able to kind of go to or rely on if like you didn't pick something up, you didn't, or if you were just feeling nervous about something that, could help you along the way?
Riley Borenstein was a huge one. Jade, of course. Jade's super friendly, super outgoing. So, she was always
Uh,
there if we needed a friend. Riley was just a great player to look up to because she's also center mid and she was just a beast. So, definitely a lot of friendly upperclassmen that I was able to look up to.
that's good. Um, Speaking of Jade, the best photo of all of sports last year was the photo of her after she scored against Manasquan. That was I was glad my photographer was the one who got it, but I still to this day, right before she left for school, I still said that that's the best photo,
Yeah, that's
you
awesome.
know, because I didn't know the backstory that the Manasquan student section was really riding her pretty good. I was
Oh,
told by
yeah.
the photographer, and that was kind of her.
Yeah, and
Gave,
she's the most humble person too. So, it was the funniest thing
yeah,
to see her.
that's what I laughed about because I know Jay pretty well, and that's not like
No,
that's what
not
made.
like that's not like her at all, but it was
I know
awesome.
that's what made it so much better because if you know Jage that's not her, team comes first, and whatever the team needs to do to win. So, so that's a funny story. So, just talk about coach, because Howell's success, they really weren't, as successful as the run you girls are on. Just talk about how coach came in and the kind of culture he set for the team.
Yeah, Coach Roy is great. He's super motivating. He likes to win. That's like his main philosophy is win. So he'll do anything. He has us run all the time, even though we're like, Royal, no more running. But he always pushes us, and we know that it's worth that at the end of the day. But yeah, he definitely was able to turn the program around because this team has not seen many wins in the past.
Um, Now you could tell your team is very well conditioned. Just look at last season up, the Brick Memorial opening day. They came out on fire in the first half, and then they kind of lost their steam definitely like early. and you girls were able to really apply the pressure. You weren't able to get the tying, the equalizing goal, but you girls had, and even after the game, everyone, how am I not won that game? But they sure, that second half was dominating.
Yeah.
So you could definitely tell that he pushes the conditioning on that team. Now, talk about the start to the season. I know not the results last year. You dropped the first three games, but all three to top 10 teams in the Shore Conference. And then, you win three, and then you dropped two, one to your rival Freehold, and then you went on a really nice run and made it, all the way to the finals. What do you think changed? Because even though the three losses, you played very good competition all season, especially in A North. What do you think changed after those three games, or what did coach tell the team after those first three defeats?
I think we just, went to practice. We practiced shooting more, practiced putting goals in the back of the net more because that was kind of like our struggle. We were kind of keeping up with the teams. We just couldn't score on them. So we were definitely focusing a lot on that and just making sure to keep our heads up and not let it get to us or anything because we knew how good we were. It was just a matter of showing that on the scoreboard.
And do you think playing such a difficult schedule helps where you make the deep run in the Shore Conference tournament, make it um Central Jersey Group 4, another brutal bracket for soccer, you made it to the semifinals, but and make lets you make a deep run there. Do you think playing that tough schedule during the regular season helps you prepare for the post?
100%, I think it does. I think a lot of people kind of get a little upset because like the smaller schools are winning rings and stuff like that, but like they're not playing the same teams as us and stuff like that, so that can get frustrating. But it definitely prepares us, and it definitely is like the reason we were able to make it so far the past 2 years, because like we just get prepared by playing all these good teams and stuff.
A little side note question: were you a fan of the way they did the Shore Conference tournament last year with the World Cup type style?
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. Yeah, I
I
mean,
I liked it just because, say, A North, which is a very tough division, even like the bottom teams in A North could be very successful in most of the other divisions. And you could have lost every division game and it wouldn't have mattered to the seeding, or, because if you did well in your group, you were going to the tournament. So I actually enjoyed it. So I know it's like 50-50 with the players and the coaches. So I was just curious with your opinion on that.
yeah, I agree.
Now, last season you were junior. I like to ask you, so what was something you really wanted to improve on going into last season?
Definitely my communication, like kind of being on the older half of people on the team. I definitely wanted to be more of a leader. Even though I wasn't a senior yet, I just wanted
Mhm.
to play a role like that for the younger people, stuff like that.
And junior year, that's when they're looking at to see who's going to be the captain that senior year. So that's smart, and so it's an answer. Most people want it. That's the year they want to start improving their communication. This year, after when it's all said and done, what do you hope to pass down to the underclassmen that are coming up?
I mean, definitely don't be nervous. Don't try way too hard in tryouts and just not pass the ball. Make sure you're playing like a team player because that definitely doesn't go unnoticed. And just talk to people, talk to upperclassmen, talk to coaches. Don't be nervous about anything.
Okay. I'm just going through some stuff here. Who do you think your rival is? You think it's Freehold Township?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Phyllis? Yeah, yeah, if the Jade kind of brought it up when I interviewed her last year, is Howell used to be the school where people would see on the schedule and be like, oh, that's a win, and now people are like, oh, that's going to be a really hard game. Even when you're playing, the freeholds and RVCs. What does it mean to be part of something like that? Knowing that you were part of that change in culture too.
I mean, I can't even tell you how many senior night games we had to play my freshman year. So it's definitely great we don't have to do those anymore. But yeah, it's a great thing to be a part of. Winning's a lot of fun too, so hopefully we can keep that up.
Yeah, people who don't understand, schools try to plan a game they know they're gonna win for senior night. That's what Allie means on that. And funny, I forget what school it was, but somebody planned a senior night, and the team ended up being like surprisingly, I forget what it wasn't A North, but the team like was ridiculous that year, and they ended up losing their senior night. And I
Yeah,
remember the coach being very mad that senior night was playing against that team. So,
yeah, we were able to win one of the senior night games. That was one of our very few wins. It was overtime against Donovan Catholic. It was great.
okay, okay,
One of our very few wins that year, but yeah.
all right. Are you ready for some rapid fire questions?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. What is your favorite TV show?
Right now, Love Island.
Love Island. Wow, you were the first player to say that.
It's the new season just came out, so it's like a
Okay.
big thing now.
What is your favorite movie?
Pitch Perfect.
Okay. Okay. Do you know how many times I get Grey's Anatomy as the
Really?
favorite? Yes, which is just mind blowing since that was on like when I was like 20.
Yeah,
So
I've seen like half of it. It's just so
yeah,
long. I just
I I stopped after season 11. I just couldn't do it anymore.
I didn't even make it that far.
Um, what is your favorite food?
Chicken parm,
Yes. Chicken parm with vodka sauce or just regular chicken parm?
regular chicken parm.
Okay. What is your go-to song to get you hyped up or focused before a big game?
Oh gosh, I don't even know. Pass. I don't even listen to music
Okay.
when I get hyped up.
Okay. What is your favorite school subject?
Math.
Something you enjoy to do in your free time when you're not playing soccer.
Go to the beach.
Beach, that is the common short
Every
conference answer.
time.
The soccer, I can't come up with these. Softball, it's would you rather rob a home run or hit the game-winning home run? So it's hard. What you could do, PK, hit a PK kick, or I can't come up with them for soccer. I got to come up with a couple. What would you rather do for soccer? When your playing career is completely over, do you want to still be involved with the sport?
Yeah, I'd like to coach.
Okay. Yeah, that was my new question. So, all right, let's talk about your future now. Going on college visits, visiting campuses. What are some things that are sticking out that where you think you could spend your next 4 years?
I definitely want to stay close because I want my family to come see me play and stuff like that. So probably in New Jersey. But yeah, we're looking around.
You're gonna When I started doing these during COVID, these interviews, it was Florida, South Carolina. That's where we want to go. The last year and a half, almost every player athlete I interviewed, I want to stay close to home. Just weird how it changed over a couple of years.
Yeah.
Kids' mentality and what they want to do. Do you know what you want to study?
Definitely something math related. Applied mathematics is a major I've seen a lot that I'm interested in, but if not that, then engineering. Definitely math related though.
I think you may be the first person to say math related. Usually it's science related. What do you want to do after college, or do you have any ideas?
I'm not sure yet. I gotta see where my major leads me to.
Yeah. So you brought up engineering, so I guess maybe possibly
Yeah,
engineer.
that's a possibility.
Okay. All right. Last question. What advice would you give your younger self?
Definitely just keep going, no matter what sets you back. Just keep pushing yourself because it does get better.
Okay. Thank you for joining me. When does practice start? Next week or
Monday, the
Monday?
19th. Yep.
All right. 6 days, 6 days, 5 days, 6 days. So it's right around the corner. And who do you open up with?
Old Bridge is our first game.
Overage, outside the shore. That's
Yeah.
weird. That's weird. I was hoping for another night game against Burke Memorial.
No, they're not on our schedule this year.
Uh, yeah, Ace South, his schedule's weird because he always plays opening night under the lights, and he said he doesn't have his first like home game like a couple weeks into the season, and he doesn't have, so I don't know how to do the schedule, but all right. Well, I appreciate you taking time out today, and I wish you and Howell luck and see if you can make it back to the short conference final for the third straight year, which would be an accomplishment. And good luck this season.
Thank you so much for having me.
No problem. Thank you everybody for joining me, and we're getting close. I'll be seeing a lot of people on the fields very shortly. So everybody enjoy the rest of the summer. The school year is right around the corner.